Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you my budget camera rig setup for my Canon R6 Mark II. I will be sharing my Canon R6 Mark II rig setup using budget parts and equipment. This setup is not specific for Canon R6 Mark II. If you want to do the same setup, you just need to buy the specific cage for your camera. Before anything, just a bit of disclaimer. This video is not sponsored by Small Rig, although 90% of the products that I will be using is Small Rig products. All the featured products are of personal choices because it fits my budget and my requirement. Okay, so I do on-the-go shooting and some of them are extended shooting. And lastly, you don't need to build the same setup. Build whatever works for you and what is within your budget. Don't break the bank buying expensive items or equipment unless you really need to buy that specific equipment for a filming job or something else that will pay you in return. So without further ado, let's now go to the setup. I have split this setup into two setups, which is the base setup and the other one I call the power setup. The power setup is basically the setup that I use when I need an external power supply when I'm going to do an extended shooting. Extended shooting, which means that I will be shooting more than 2 hours continuously. Let's now go to the basic setup. So I have here my Canon R6 Mark II. Going through the parts and equipments that I use. Number one is of course the small rig cage for Canon R6 Mark II. This is the one that I mentioned earlier that you have to buy a specific one for your camera. Next is the this one, the small rig wooden NATO side handle. It's very easy to attach. You can also find different model that is actually cheaper to this, but the attachment would be different. I love this kind of attachment because it allows me to attach the side handle into the cage in seconds quite easily just by turning this lever here. Next is the top handle from Small Rig as well. This is a specific top handle with a locating, they call it array locating screws. Then that's where my OC T5 Plus monitor will be attached. I would like to make a special mention about this monitor because it's really good and it gives the value for money. It's the cheapest monitor that I could see in the market right now. I think it's around $135 when you buy it online, and it's not only cheap, it has the features that you can find as well on one of those expensive monitors out there. Not everything, but it has the essentials like the zebra indicator, the histogram. You can put on customized LUTs as well, and the brightness, it has a maximum of 1000 nits, so it's also good for outdoor shooting out in the sun. Another thing I'd like to mention is this small rig swivel and tilt adjustable monitor support. Okay, so let's now get this assembled into the camera. So I'm gonna do the cage first. So how this works is just slide the camera from the back of the cage, just like that. And I would normally start screwing or tightening the bottom screw. So it has a tool that goes with the cage. You can use that, just like attaching your camera to a tripod. Make sure it's nice and tight. There you go. and it comes with a lock that you have to put in place. It's actually going to latch onto the, you know, that thing where you tie the straps for the camera. That's where this lock will latch on. So I'm just going to put that on both sides. I use that same tool that came with the cage. Okay, so make sure when you're attaching the lock, it's nicely laid in there and it's not protruding outside. So that's the indicator that it's actually locked properly. Okay, I'm going to put the other one. Okay, so that's the cage attached to the camera. Now, next thing I'm gonna put in is the handle. So because I already have this kind of as this bulge here on the right side of the camera, I'm gonna attach the handle on the left side. So there are handles that can be attached on the right side as well, but it's personal preference actually. Okay, so the way it tightens is just turn this lever here and that's it. So yeah, it's very sturdy, doesn't even move. Now I'm gonna put in the top handle. So it's area locating screws because it actually, you know, it goes through that hole, that small holes, so it doesn't spin or get twisted when you are actually using the camera using the top handle, and it gives it a bit more of security in there. So yeah, straightforward, just tighten up that screw. There you go. Now, okay, so this is how it looks now. So even from here, so let's say you don't have a monitor yet, it's already looking, you know, it's ergonomic already, and for me it looks comfortable already to handle, and I believe it would give me already would allow me to take steady shots just using this base setup. See, so even just like this, you hold it using the top handle. Yeah, so but I like using the monitor to actually have a detailed look into what I'm shooting. So this is where I'm gonna use this swivel and tilt adjustable monitor support, of course from Small Rig. I love this one because it allows me to put the support on the front of the handle, just like that. Just to show the comparison, this is a normal adjustable monitor support. It's straight, and if you put it on the front of the handle, the top handle, you won't have that much actually you won't have that much rotation that you can do, but with the swivel and tilt it's way more flexible. I'm just gonna attach the monitor here. Okay, so once it's tightened, just have to loosen this here and you can adjust it. Right. Alright, so this is how it looks with all those parts and equipment attached to it. Yeah, this is my base setup. Actually, this is my go-to setup if I'm just going out to do some just casual shooting and, you know, just short sessions. So yeah, just adjust the camera. Yeah, so this is how it looks. I'm not gonna put the battery and the power for now. I'm gonna show it to you later on. Yeah, so with this one, it's already super comfortable to handle. And yeah, from here you can start with this. You can start with this kind of setup, and then later on you can just add more stuff on it according to your needs or requirements. Alright guys, now again, before we start with the power setup type that I do, you don't need this part if you're not actually doing some extended shoots, okay? So if you don't do it, just this would be a waste of money and resources as well, because with just the basic setup, it's already pretty good, and you can do like around 2 hours shoot, or I mean even longer if you have a lot of spare batteries that you can use. For this, I usually use this because what if you're filming something important, like, because I do events, and what if you're filming an event and then your battery suddenly went out and something important is happening. Yeah, that's actually the main purpose of this, is to have a longer battery or power supply. Yeah, so without further ado, let's now go to the power setup. So with this setup, I've used a small rig V-mount battery mount with dual 15mm rod clamp. So it's this thing here. That's 15mm rod clamp. So this is pretty much standard. You can buy different kinds of V-mounts there. It's specific to V-mount batteries as well, like this. This is by the way, the newer 99 watts V-mount battery. I love this one. Next thing you will need is these small rig 15mm carbon fiber rods. Pretty good. Then you're gonna need a, let me just go this one. It's a small rig bottom mount plate. This is where the whole base setup will sit on, like this, to have the battery attachment. This one is optional, so this is the newer quick release plate. I use it for easy attachment of the cage to the bottom mount plate, because without this, you're gonna have to screw the base setup onto this again and again. But with this one, you just have to loosen it, and you can just slide the base setup in and out. I'm gonna show you later on. And this is to power the camera. This is I bought in small rig as well, but definitely there's third-party stuff out there that is way cheaper with this than this one. So it's a small rig D-tap to LPE6NH. This is camera specific, so you need to get a compatible dummy battery for your camera. Now let's get this assembled. So I would start with the rods. So I'm just gonna attach it to the rod clamp, 15mm, and then tighten it. Yeah, make sure it's tight, because this is actually the heaviest part of the setup. Then we have to, I need to attach this quick release plate to the bottom mount plate. Okay, so I'm gonna need a tool for that. Okay, make sure that it's actually tight and it doesn't loosen up, because it's gonna hold the base setup on the top and the battery attachment on the bottom. Maybe someday I'm just gonna glue this so it doesn't actually separate to each other. Okay, then I'm just gonna slide out the rods into the base mount, to the bottom mount. So I won't put it in all the way. I'm just gonna put that there, right there. Okay, so the V-mount battery will just actually slide down into the V-mount plate. Hence it's called V-mount. Oops. There you go. See? All right. Now, time to attach the base setup into the battery attachment. So this is what I was talking about, the newer quick release plate, why it's so useful. So yeah, I just loosen that up and just do this. Yeah, there you go. So instead of screwing the bottom mount plate directly into the base setup, I just did it like 5 seconds with a quick release plate. And yeah, now it's time to actually just adjust this. Alright, so this is actually my powered setup. I call it power setup. It allows me to do extended shooting. It's not that heavy, but it's really balanced, so it keeps me, not really. So I think I'm gonna put the lens later on, and I'm gonna connect everything into the power supply so that you can see how it looks. So with this one, it allows me to take steady shots as well. If I just put it against my chest or just like this, it's not that heavy. I think it's around, I say 3 to 4 kg. So yeah, so I'm just gonna put everything with the cables in and attach them to the power supply, so you have an idea how it looks with all those stuff. Alright guys, so here it looks with everything attached into it. As you can see, the monitor is powered on. I got the lens attached into the camera and the power supply is working. So it's just the cable management is pretty ugly at the moment. I have to buy a shorter cables for the USB-C power of the monitor, but I don't need it right now because I'm on budget, and also a bit longer HDMI cable for the monitor, because right now it looks pretty stretched, as you can see there. But yeah, so in total this setup, I think it weighs around 4 to 5 kg now, but it's still really nice to handle. It's still ergonomic, and I can just do it like this and like that. It will still allow me to shoot steady videos, steady clips. The only downside with this setup is I don't have I would prefer a handle with a record start stop button, but those things are expensive. I could still work just by pressing that record button directly on the camera, just like this. Yep, stops recording and just power it off. So in terms of focusing as well, yeah, I don't have that focus stuff, accessories. I can just do it directly from the lens for now, or I usually shoot with autofocus. Okay, so that's all guys. So I hope you liked this video and my setup. I know some of you may say that, oh, small rigs are expensive, but actually small rigs are actually the leading manufacturer of this kind of products right now. That's why I believe, and why I chose small rig is because of the quality of the products that they create. If you actually touch them, they feel premium, and in terms of price, they're not really that expensive. Comparing this setup to some setups that you may have seen before with the professional, this is nothing compared to those kind of setups. And especially mentioning the monitor that I'm using, the OC T5 Plus. It's a very budget but worth it monitor in the market, along with this one, the newer 99 watts power supply or external battery. They're just fantastic. Again, you don't have to build the same exact setup that I have here. Just use this as a guide if you are a beginner or if you're thinking of building a rig setup for your camera. Okay, so that's all guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, hit the comment section below, and I'll be posting the links of all the products that I use in the description. So if you want to check them out, they are affiliate links, which means that if you click on them, you're supporting my channel, and I do appreciate that. Okay, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Bye bye.